Jim Courier, the champion. Now let's check on all the winners from the 1993 Australian Open. Well, one happy result there. A British winner in Melbourne, James Bailey, won the junior boys singles, and the 17-year-old gave one of his first ever TV interviews.
I wasn't happy with my game. I hadn't done very well. I lost to the same guy twice in the previous 2 weeks. I wasn't expecting good things of myself. I was just hoping to win a few matches in a way. But I started playing well, and it just opened up for me.
Yes, congratulations to 17-year-old James Bailey from Hampshire. It's a wonderful win. I mean, it's an amazing effort, isn't it?
Yeah, unexpected too. I mean, actually, he hits his forehand and his backhand just about every shot as hard as Courier too. Yeah. This kid is a rhino. He really is one of the strongest players around. It is a surprise. I'm sure he was expecting to maybe win a match or two. And then suddenly you start riding the wave and you get a little bit of confidence and you can beat anybody. They both, in fact, Jamie Delgado as well, who's travelling with James, they both did well. Jamie was in the semi-final, so their coach, Stephen Shaw, deserves a lot of congratulations.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope in a few years he'll be giving a press conference having won the men's singles, not the juniors. We can hope so. Well, now it's that time to find out who is the lucky winner of this, a signed Andre Agassi cap. This is how you had to win it. This is the question we asked you. In which year did Andre Agassi make his Davis Cup debut? The answer was 1988. Both Andrew and I got it wrong, but plenty of you didn't. And the lucky winner, where we'll be sending this hat to, is Vicky Small of South Shields, Tyne Wear. Congratulations, Vicky. Oh, absolutely wonderful. That is the cap we will be sending you. It really is nice. OK, well, we've got plenty of tennis coming up here on Sky Sports. Our next tennis actually starts on the 1st of March, and it will be Indian Wells. There it is, the ATP Super Series. And believe me, there'll be plenty of tennis coming up throughout the year. That's Indian Wells, Monday, the 1st of March. That's our next tennis here on Sky Sports. And just to let you know about the Super Series, we will be covering all 9 of the tournaments. There are over $1 million in prize money in each event, and the top 10 players in the world have to enter 8 out of the 9 events. So there's some wonderful tennis coming up throughout the year. It's going to be good, isn't it, Andrew? Yeah,
the race for #1, and that's what it's all about now. And these events are, along with the Grand Slams, which we'll also be covering, you know, this is where the race starts, early on. And so the people like Becker and stuff, they've got some catching up to do. Courier is out there again as #1. But he puts it on the line in these sort of events because there's so many ATP points available.
I know, but I don't think the top players are going to be too happy that have to play the Grand Slams plus 8 out of these 9 events. It's going to be a lot of tennis for them. They're going to have to be fit. Yeah, they're getting paid a fairly good hourly rate. I think that's fair enough that they should play more tennis. I mean, they need to support the game that makes them millionaires. You know, if the lower guys could play more tournaments, they would. The tournaments aren't available for the lower ranks, so I can't hear complaints from the top guys. I'm glad they can cut down 1 or 2 exhibitions and play all these events. Absolutely.
It makes it meaningful that they're all going to be there in the same tournament.
They are all going to be there, and so are we. Plenty of tennis coming up throughout the year. Andrew, what's been your best memory of this championships, the Australian Open?
Well, I was disappointed at the beginning when people were pulling out, and it just looked like it was cheapening a little bit at first, and then, you know, Becker goes out tennis-wise, at least he was there, and I thought it was going to be one of those events that sort of drifted along, but then I like to watch Courier play, I do, and because he's good for the game. You know, he talks about how he doesn't get quite the respect that he deserves, because he's #1, he does it his own way, and I guess that's true, but he just does the job time and time again, and eventually we're going to love him. So we may as well start now, because he's a winner, he's a nice guy, And
Absolutely.
you know, we should learn to appreciate his tennis. I enjoyed the ladies too.
Yeah, I was going to
Phenomenal
say,
event.
for me, that was the premier event. I mean, the final was absolutely super. Thanks a lot, Andrew. It's been a pleasure working with you throughout the fortnight. Are you off playing a bit of tennis now?
Well,
Even though you're retired.
Actually, we're going to play tomorrow, aren't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to try and get fit after sitting here for 14 days, I can tell you. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of the 1993 Australian Open. The two champions, Jim Courier and Monica Seles, will be celebrating. We'll be back here on the 1st of March, our next tennis, Indian Wells. Join Andrew and myself then. Bye-bye.
On the third day, England was struggling, needing 172 runs to avoid a follow-on. They faltered to 163 all out. In the second innings, Gooch fell in bizarre fashion, leaving Gatting to rebuild the England offensive. The first test continues tomorrow morning at 3:45, live and exclusive on Sky Sports in association with Foster's.
Will you swap 2 of these for 1 Daz Ultra?
No way, no. No. Further Daz Ultra.
You've seen what's in there. It's very famous. It's a proper one.
Yes. But I'll stick to the one I know.
Why?
Because of the price, for a start. I mean, you've probably heard all this before, but
Oh,
it gets
yeah,
things... It does get things like it's my husband's karate suits. They really get ditched with the polish off the floor.
And
So, yes, it removes it. The others doesn't, especially that one they showed me.
so you won't swap?
No, I want the Daz Ultra.
Right, let's get on with it. Come on.
What, now?
New Kleenex household towel.
Is this new?
Yep.
And soft enough for a beautiful...
Lazy.
How soft can you get?
Play Rich 5 in today.
Play Rich 5 and win a fortune. Oh, I won a fortune once, sir. Lost it all again, though. Put it on the mantelpiece. The wife must have cleared it up or something. Women, eh?
Just match 3 numbers to win a fortune every day.
Something for the weekend, sir. Who's the lucky sir? Here we are.
Get your Rich 5 card tomorrow. In today, that little bit smarter.
Oh, no!
I win again.
3-0?
How can anyone be that lucky?
Best of 7.
Okay.
This time I'll play it cool.
Here comes my winger, and it's a beautiful run, and he lobs it across, and the striker comes in.
He's done me again.
Never mind, Dad. Here comes the PG Tips.
PG picked the youngest, freshest tips of the tea bush, which makes PG Tips the tea you can really taste.
You know, son, there's more to this life than winning.
Yes, Dad.
Best of 9.
Whenever trouble strikes, whenever danger lurks, he's always there.
Is this some kind of bus?
Well, it's very impressive, yes.
Leslie Nielsen and Priscilla Presley. In a sequel so big, they had to add another half. The British television premiere. The Naked Gun 2.5, Monday night at 9 on the Movie Channel.
Here are the latest headlines from Sky News.
Hello, I'm Shahnaz Pakravan. Pitt promise. Cold Chief says doomed minds can be sold. Ravers rage. Why did riot police stop our party? Cocaine killers, the Bogota bombers, back with a vengeance. Fun for Farrow, the day her parents thought she'd never see. And Barnes storming Liverpool make Arsenal pay the penalty.
Sky News, on the hour, every hour.
This is Sky Sports, a part of the British Sky Broadcasting Network.
Good evening. The 1993 Welsh Open final features 22-year-old Alan McManus from Glasgow against 23-year-old Irishman Ken Doherty. In yesterday's first semi-final, McManus knew too much for the exciting new prospect, Joe Swale. And in the other semi, Doherty's guns proved too big for the Typhoon, James Watana.
We only played each other once in the Grand Prix at Reading a couple of years ago, and he beat me 5-2, so... But, like, it's a different story over probably 19 frames, and I'm sure the both of us are looking forward to it.
You know, I'm over the moon. It's my first major ranking final in the UK. I've had one in Thailand, but this is the first major in the United Kingdom, so, you know, I'm over the moon, especially in Wales. You know, I love Wales. It's tremendous. The people are tremendous.
Snooker's young guns battle it out for a first prize of £27,500. It's McManus versus Doherty for the 1993 Welsh Snooker Open title. Yes, welcome to the final. Two young men you're going to hear a lot from in the future. Now, with me in the studio, Jim White. Jim, this could be a great final.
Yes, it certainly could. It's got all the makings of one. Both players very much at the top of their game, only in their third year as professionals, and that's a sign of bigger and better things to come, I'm sure.
And the final's over the longer distance, so we could sort of be in for some big breaks and some classic snooker.
Yes, very much so. A best of 17 now, so a race to 9. Still very important to settle in, though. The player that can do that first is going to have the advantage.
Right. You've got some interesting points to make about the way they've got there. So if we look at the draw, we see how two guys have reached it. Just talk us through this, Jim.
Sure. You can see there that Alan McManus probably thought he was going to be playing Stephen Hendry early and ended up playing Nigel Bond instead. And then the bottom half, thought Davis might be coming out of the bottom half there and ended up knocking out Joe Swale. So possibly a little easier route than he might have originally thought. Whereas in contrast, you look at Kenny Doherty, and he's had to eliminate Gary Wilkinson, a top 10 player, then the world number 2, John Parrott, in a hard match, and then James Watana. So in terms of routes to the final, it's pretty obvious that Ken's had a little tougher route, but that doesn't really count much now.
Could he be better prepared for having to play those names on the way through to the final, do you think?
Well, mentally, he could be a little bit tougher than Alan, but I mean, Alan's got a very well-rounded game, so it's really on the day. That's the way the game of snooker is.
Well, if you want to know what the odds are, McManus is 11-8 on, and Doherty is evens. But one interesting point is the provisional world rankings. Just have a look at this. Cast your eye down this list. Provisionally, Jimmy White, number 1, Stephen Hendry, number 2, John Parrott, number 3, but look, Alan McManus, number 4, having risen from number 13. Watana is 5, and Steve Davis, 6, the lowest place he's ever been since 1980, when he won his first of his 63 major titles, if you can believe that. Terry Griffiths at 7, Willie Thorne 8, Nigel Bond 9, and look, Ken Doherty 10, risen 11 places. Those are the official world rankings. There you go. What can you say about that, Jim? These two lads have really had a great season today.
Well, they certainly have, and obviously reflected there in the rankings. Difficult to believe that Steve Davis has fallen to number 6. I mean, he still seems like a dominant force in the game, but again, as I've said, it's just really a sign of things to come, I believe.
Brings it home to me, the fact that, you know, that's the lowest he's been since he won the first of his 63 major tournaments.
Amazing. 63 tournaments, and how important that first one is. I'm sure Dave would be able to, Steve would be able to give one of these two a good talking to about how important that first one under their belt is.
All right. Well, let's get to it. I think the players are just about to come into the arena.